What's up, everybody, and welcome to the what is this? The pre-lock show. I'm sitting here looking at the chat. Can't keep my head straight. Yes, the pre-lock show for Monday Night Football to wrap up this wonderfully terrible week of fantasy football for me. But it's been a grind, and we're here. And today, first time all year, Bobby Gomes is in the house. He's going to join us here for this 30-minute show here and walk us through. Bobby, man, how's it going, Bobby?
It's going good. It's better to be here with you, Chop. I mean, Squirrel 2 weeks ago shipped a millie. Maybe I can have the same luck as Squirrel and get one shipped tonight.
Yeah, you can if you're willing to play some backup running backs and go all crazy, man. Because that's what the Squirrel man does. He goes crazy with it, man. But yeah, it's going to be a fun game.
I'm going crazy tonight for sure.
You're going crazy? Okay, well then you got a shot then to ship a millie because you got to go crazy in these things. Otherwise you could still win it, but you'll just split it with a whole bunch of other people. So and that won't look as impressive as a solo millie ship, but. Guys, this show is based on you guys asking questions and us answering those questions and just having a little fun before the thing locks up here. In 30 minutes exactly, we'll get the lock, and so that'll be that. So fire off those questions in chat, and we're gonna answer them, each and every one of them. I've already been taking a list here of things to walk through, but gotta ask Bobby. First of all, I did have a question earlier, Bobby. Let me mark this one off the list. All right, I got a question for you specifically from our boy TTO, the Takeover. I don't know if you're familiar with the Takeover.
I remember the Takeover. Good caviar.
Yes, great caviar. Well, he's going to be happy you said that. I'm going to tell him you said that. He's very proud of his caviar. But he wants to know. Ask Gomes how it feels to get bodied by Adam Levitan. Oh man, come on, Bobby. What are you doing?
I did not get bodied, but yeah, 2018. Like you're pulling up 2018. I might have played a week of cash games. Like good luck, bud. Enjoy that. It's a solid win for you.
Yeah,
it's 2023 now. You can't get away with like these guys are living in the past. A lot of them. So I play every sport. Like I play every sport, you know. It is what it is. I'm not on a site where I'm selling projections to sports I don't play, you know. I don't own a site. Yeah.
Nice, Bobby. I like it.
That's what I would say.
Yeah, that's okay, man. I'm sure it's all in good fun. You probably struck a nerve with him. It's okay, man. It's all right.
I know that's the other thing, like coming down from your perch with your 200K followers to chirp me I must have really got you, you know.
You got him, Bobby. Here's what we do on this show now. We like to look at some inactives
because I'd like to keep going on this, but we can.
You would? Well, man, the floor is yours. I got the questions saved up. It won't take us no time. No,
we can take all the questions. Yeah,
you got it, man. But we like to look at some inactives here and see if there's anything that stands out. I'm looking at Green Bay, and we kind of got word earlier, so we knew Aaron Jones was going to be out. Other than Aaron Jones, I'm not seeing anything that makes a huge bit of difference. There are some role players there. For the Raiders, we're getting everybody active that we thought we were. Nothing standing out here. Nate Hobbs, cornerback. Aiden O'Connell is inactive. Don't need him this week, though. It seems like Garoppolo is going to be good, and I think we've had enough of the Aiden O'Connell thing anyway. So not a lot there, Bobby, except for the Aaron Jones over there on the Green Bay side. But the thing about Aaron Jones being out in the past, it would have been, we can fire up some A.J. Dillon. Now, after watching A.J. Dillon this year, it's like, man, that guy's running in quicksand. What do we do with Aaron Jones being out? How does that affect your builds tonight?
So for me, I'm going to have a lot of A.J. Dillon. I think currently I have 43%, and then Taylor I have 53%. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going, obviously, A.J. Dillon at that price tag is super cheap, $4,500. So him being terrible is kind of priced in, I would say, correct? Like, I don't know. And then Taylor, for what it's worth, like I think you play the two of them together just because of how cheap Dillon is. but Taylor's seen an increased snap count. I also would. What do you have? 38% of the snaps last week. 31. Aaron Jones had. So the week he was out, Taylor had 31. Emmanuel Wilson had 8, and Dylan had 41. Last week Jones had 20. Last week Jones had 35% of the snaps. Dylan had 67% of the snaps. All right, no, my fault. I messed that up. And 2 weeks ago, and not 31, Taylor had 39%. So yeah, for me, I'm playing Taylor, Dylan, and Wilson, getting exposure to all those guys, and yeah, I don't know. I think I have more Taylor than Dylan in my 150, but it's not a fade for me with Dylan because of how cheap he is.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. So AJ Dillon is kind of like the anti-Devin Achane, right? Like Achane's this young explosive back. He's like 30% when he's only going to get like less than half the carries or whatever, and everybody wants to play. Dillon, you kind of look at him like he's going to get the workload, but he's been so terrible this year. First of all, I want to know where you come out on Achane. Are you really like did you really think you have to play him last night or yesterday, or what side of that Achane fence were you on?
I thought that like there was merit in fading him, but I also thought like he's obviously going to regress towards the mean, but his ceiling just might be higher because he might be one of those players that is just better than what people, I guess, realize or are projecting him out to be. So like I thought you had a plan. Like who has a higher ceiling in a vacuum, Devin Achane or David Montgomery? Like Chop, you can tell me. Who do you think it is? If no price not included.
Achane.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. All right. Just checking. There was a lot of people who had a problem with the Achane play, but it's kind of like that's the Corey Dillon tonight.
I see what you're doing here, Chop. I see what you're doing.
No. I'm saying that is what that yesterday is kind of like the Corey Dillon. AJ Dillon. Corey Dillon was good. AJ Dillon is not so good. That's the AJ Dillon thing from tonight, but in the opposite way. Like this guy is going to get carries. He's going to get usage. He's going to get workload. And people don't want to play him. They want to play Achane when it was the opposite, but they don't want to play Dillon tonight. So I don't know, man. I've just seen him. He like we got Kirkwood in chat. He says his thing is Montgomery. David Montgomery is electric, is what Kirk says.
I like Montgomery too. I'm with Kirk, but I was just saying in the context of the slate.
All I'm saying is AJ Dillon though is the opposite of whatever the opposite of electric is. Very static. That's AJ Dillon. He doesn't have much juice in him. All right, I got to answer a couple questions in chat because, I'm getting bodied. You got bodied by Levitan. I'm getting bodied by the chat. They says, what an embarrassment last night.
Bodied by anyone. I didn't get bodied
come on, Bobby. We got a show to do.
200K followers coming down from the perch to chirp a guy with 3K. I get it.
The guy says, the chat, what an embarrassment last night for my Cowboys. A super embarrassment. I got no chill says, y'all still them boys? Nah, we definitely. They got humbled, man. They got humbled, and
they definitely got.
It's going to be. Yeah. They need to go back to the drawing board on some things, but also I'm okay with it. The 49ers.
They have to go back to the drawing board and their quarterback, though. That's the issue. Like it's the quarterback. It's not.
What can you do though, man? Unless you're going to get a top 10 pick in the NFL these days, it's tough to find it. You're not going to get a quarterback in free agency, so all of a sudden you got to lose a bunch of games, and I don't think they're going to lose
a bunch with Cooper Rush.
I wouldn't say that. I think that's a bit much, Bobby. But I'll say this:
Cooper Rush won more games with them last year. Cooper Rush looked more competent. How are you going to backtrack there?
He was very, very simplistic. They dummied everything down, and he had a really good schedule. Like you're not going to win playoff games with Cooper Rush, but you might not win them with Dak either.
You're not going to win playoff games with Dak.
You have to be better on the offensive play calling. We'll just get to the playoffs, and then you put your best foot forward. I think they can beat Philly in one game, in the playoff. But listen, nobody's beating the Niners, Bobby. Nobody's beating the 49ers. We had a discussion.
I don't think so either.
We had a discussion before the show. We were talking about baseball, and I don't think anybody's beating the Phillies, man. I'm watching them. There's a bunch of trash left in baseball, and the Phillies are good. So I think they're going to roll to the World Series. I feel the same about the Niners if they stay healthy. Who's beating that, man? That's offense. That's defense. That's McCaffrey. All these skill guys. They're pretty darn good. So I can't worry about that. Derek, let's get this one out of the way, too. Has Dak retired yet? Derek, I kind of wish he would retire. We get to save that cap and maybe do something else. But, again, what can you do, man? You build the best team you can around him. All right, let's get to some real stuff here, Bobby, with the showdown questions. Best play, THC3. Best play under 2K tonight for you, Bobby. Who is it?
Best play under 2K, Patrick Taylor.
Okay, sounds good. I like that one. David 82165 says Watson ? Man, I can answer this one for you. I love Watson tonight. I love him tonight, man. I think he's the best wide receiver on this team. He's got a good connection with Jordan Love.
He is my highest owned captain.
I love Watson. There's a lot of things he can do. I think he's healthy, a little like extra rest from last Thursday, so he had a few days rest. He's off the injury report now. I think that's a big thing. So I love that. All right, we got another question for you. All right, I'm gonna let you answer this one because this is your guy tonight. Stan Krugerus says AJ Dillon viable at captain.
I think he's viable at captain. If I did play him at captain because of what I could get, I'd probably go lower in terms of where my salary cap, right? Because everyone who's going to play AJ Dillon at captain, they're going to get the same teams up top, I would imagine. So, like, if you have the optionality of not spending up or Xing teams that spend up between 48 and 50K, I'd just completely X them. 49.8 and 50K, I'd X them.
Okay. Looking at our boy in the chat, Butthole Jenkins. He wants to, I know he wants that Plums play of the night. We'll get to that here in a little bit. He also asked, I really need you to say Jordan Love is a good captain tonight. Jordan Love is a fine captain tonight. What do you think about Jordan Love in the captain spot?
Second highest owned captain. I have 100% in the flex.
All right. I just want to touch on our boy Dean Shavelson is in chat. He says late on this, but 25 Montgomery carries is greater ceiling than 12 HN carries. Dean, respectfully, I think you're wrong. I think HN, I don't know if you've noticed that Miami offense.
HN's running like a Yeah, finish your thought, Chop. Sorry.
Oh no, I think HN is the way they call plays there and the explosiveness. I think the upside is with HN there and his 12 touches, and you just never know when it's going to be more than 12. It's not going to probably ever get too much more than 25 from Montgomery, but anyway, Dean, I know you're digging into your bad take and you're trying to defend it now. That's all right. Jimmy James says, "How dare I disrespect his Braves like that, man, buddy." I've seen the light on my Cowboys. I kind of know what the ceiling is for this team. For the Braves, Jimmy, I think you need to start thinking about maybe a regular season Warriors, but playoffs roll around. Maybe they ain't got it in them. Maybe they ain't that team like that. Maybe they're not built like that. All right, let's get to some more. Lip, our boy Lip has a couple of questions for you in chat. Thoughts on Jacoby Myers at captain?
Yeah, so I think how the slate kind of plays out for me is basically playing players that are negatively correlated with Adams, because I think Adams is he could be good chalk at the captain position, but I think he's bad chalk. So guys like Myers, guys like Jacobs, they're guys I'm going to try to go over on because if they get in the box twice or they score, they compete with Adams and they hurt Adams, people that captain Adams. So, I think they're good tournament plays.
All right. Another one from Lip. Taylor or Wilson? Who's Dillon's backup running back tonight?
it's Taylor, right? Like, I'm pretty.
Okay.
What do we say? 40% of the snaps when 39% of the snaps 2 weeks ago when Aaron Jones was out. Emmanuel Wilson had 8. I'd play both of them if I'm building multiple teams. They'll both be in my script.
Yeah, you don't know what a coach is going to do, so we're assuming it's Taylor, but I mean, who knows? Coaches have been known to go crazy before. All right, guys, we got about 17 minutes, a little bit less than 17 minutes left here. I got some more questions for you. Big Hurt 828. FanDuel single entry favorite MVP, also FanDuel large field and single entry on FanDuel. What's your 2 favorite MVP types over there?
Large field and single entry on FanDuel.
Yeah.
For FD, it's probably Jacobs, I would say.
Okay. I would say for single entry, I'm probably with you. Go Jacobs. And I think for a large field, I'm thinking nobody will really play the wide receiver kind of thing outside of Devontae. So I'd go Christian Watson. He fits the profile of a really good player on FanDuel. Touchdowns, that's what you want. He catches touchdowns. So large field, I go Christian Watson over there. All right, we got those out of the way. Fire off some more questions. Got Go Hills 2016 says, is Love and the Packers line good enough to contain Crosby tonight? I'm thinking he wants to know about kickers and the kickers. Crosby.
I don't think they get a ton of pressure.
Oh,
right?
Crosby. You know what? Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's answer that one first. Crosby, can they talk to me? What you got?
I think the way that you hurt Love is get pressure. I don't think that the Raiders do. They got rid of Chandler Jones, whatever was going on with him. And you can get deep on this Raiders team too, which is also why I like Christian Watson.
Bobby, can you hear me?
Yep. I can hear you. Yeah. Is that dark. You or me? Is that you or me going out?
I think it's your voice going out, but your mic going out a little bit. But my green screen is acting up because it's getting dark over here, man. It's 7 o'clock in Texas, and as the sun goes down, the camera has a hard time adjusting to the light. So I'm just fixing that real quick. Mason Crosby's a handful. Not many people can contain him. The Packers line has some injuries. I don't know though, but we'll see how it plays out. I think he's good enough to avoid some of that stuff. But what do you think about the kickers tonight? Because Crosby and Packers had me thinking kickers for a minute, Mason Crosby. But what do you think about kickers tonight in general?
I'm a little bit down on the kickers relative to what I think everyone else will be. I have a question. What would you do with Jimmy Garoppolo and flex in terms of ownership? Where would you play him in 150?
Man, where would if I had 150 in a large field? Man, I'm just not as high on Garoppolo tonight, so I'd be under the field. Whatever the field is, put me down for under that. I don't know. I'd want to be under the field on him tonight. What about you?
I'm trying to figure that out now. I'm currently not getting a lot of him. For me on the kickers, I think Dylan really hurts the kickers, right? At his price tag, it just makes me where I do like these kickers, the Carlson brothers or whatever. I just think I'd rather just play Dylan at 4,300, right? So
are they really brothers? That'd be a feat right there.
Is that what people are saying? That's what I think.
I have no idea, man.
I have no idea.
It'd be funny if they both made as.
I think kickers. They are brothers. For what
they might be. They're it's spelled the right way. It's spelled the same way. Yeah, man. Hey, that's interesting. All right. I'm looking over here at Discord also. Brad Collins, a little QQ for us. Single entry on DraftKings. Do you think Adams and Carlson outscores Jimmy G and Jacoby Myers? So Devontae and a kicker versus Jimmy G and Jacoby.
I'm going to go Devontae and a kicker. So how I built the majority of my Devontae teams is at most one. When Devontae's captain, it's at most one. Jacobs, Myers, or Garoppolo. So, yeah, because I think they all negatively correlate with him. I'm not really getting a ton of Garoppolo. I'm going to try to force some more, but I don't think I'm going to get a bunch.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. We got about 12 minutes left here, guys. Keep on firing off those questions if you got any last-minute questions. Before we get too deep into the weeds here, Bobby, I want to do the Plums play of the night, so people have a good full 10 minutes to alter their lineups if they feel like that's what they want to do. So I don't know if you're familiar with the show, Bobby. Fill it in the Plums play of the night. Fire up the gift. And this is the one where this is the guy, like, this is the one, man. This is the guy I feel tonight I'll have the most of, and I just feel great about it.
Can I guess who it is?
No, you're going to give the first answer, Bobby.
Well, I'm going to steal yours.
Oh, come on. Oh, yeah, you can steal mine. You're on the show, man.
I'll let you go. No, I'll let you go. I'll let you go first. I'm being courteous since I'm the guest on the show.
Okay. Well, no, you're not just a guest, Bobby. Hopefully you're coming back more than just one time here, man. But
when I ship tonight, they'll ask me on next week.
So when you ship tonight, you're going to retire? I feel you, man. I feel you. Good. Maybe you ship tonight and you use some of that money and we start a new site, Bobby. We start a new site, man. We start our own site. We call it Shippers, man, because we both ship.
A site where we play all the sports.
Oh, there you go. We try head-to-head records, man. All right.
We can play subs too for their cash. You know, they're already paying for the projections. We can play.
You're on it tonight, but he's under your skin tonight, Bobby. Come on, you gotta let it go. We got this Plums play of the night. I'm going with Christian Watson. That's my guy tonight. Now, I'm a little biased. I've been watching him for a while. I just like him. I think the ownership, I think that's kind of a low number on him. Like I said, he's the number one wide receiver. I'm not fearful of the Vegas secondary, although it's been better this year than years past. But I'm going Christian Watson because what he can do after the ball, I feel good about that. So that's my Plums play of the night. Now I need yours, Bobby. Outside of that, who's the guy? Who's the guy for you?
It was Christian Watson, but I'm going to go with a correlated play. Jordan Love.
Oh man, I like it. Jordan Love. Listen, has he not? He's kind of surprised you, right? Like you didn't think we saw him for a little bit his first couple of years, very sparingly. Didn't look particularly good. Aaron Rodgers never let him get on the field. We really didn't know what was in him, and he didn't look good. But he actually looks like a quarterback that could develop into something pretty decent, right?
So for me, I always thought like that's the route some guys need to take is to kind of sit behind a quarterback. So I think it worked out for him. He had talent, right? And then he gets to sit behind Rodgers. Rodgers kind of coached him up a bit. So I like Jordan Love.
I would agree 100% with that. Some guys, it's perfectly fine to come in right as like CJ Stroud is freaking good, and he can do it as a rookie, man. Like he can come in and do it, and learning on the fly is good for them. Some guys, the speed of the game, the processing is just too much right away. Sit back, take your time if you can, and that'll make them better in the long run. And that's for sure, I think, a Jordan Love thing. But I agree with that take 100%. Let's see if we got any more. I'm gonna check the chat here real quick and see if we got any question. Jacobs at captain. Oh, Jacobs has got to be he's got to be a good captain, right?
Yeah, he's a good captain because he's negative leverage off Devontae, everyone's going to play tonight, right?
Yeah. Esperin says, does Jair shadow Devontae Adams tonight? I'll say this much about the whole shadow. I don't play the shadow game anymore very much. You'd have to be like, a real just lockdown cornerback who's guaranteed to shadow all over the field, left, right, slot, everything, for me to even consider that to be a thing. So I think Jair shadows him as much as he can, but guys these days move around so much in their formation that it's going to be impossible. So I'm not worried about the shadow on Devontae Adams tonight. Are you a guy who plays the cornerback wide receiver matchups, and will you shy away from a really good cornerback, or is Devontae just matchup proof anyway?
I treat it like BVP, right? In baseball, kind of like I'm not really too into it, but occasionally, depending on the context, I don't really worry about Jair versus Devontae, though. All
right. Question for you. Jeff Windsor wants to know, let's see here. Jacobs, captain, Adams, Jimmy G, Watson, Taylor in cash on FanDuel. So Jacobs in captain, Devontae's quarterback, running back Watson, or Watson, running back Taylor, on FanDuel in cash. What do you think about that? I think that's a pretty good. Josh Jacobs in captain. You get your big dog, Jimmy G and Devontae Adams. You get Taylor as a running back, and you get our boy Watson. That line as a cash line. Yeah, that's a pretty good cash line, man. For cash, you could be looking at cash in the cash line. For tournaments, certainly you're going to be duplicated quite a bit, but that's okay. All right, I'm just trying to check over the chat, guys, see if we have any more. Here's one for you. This is an interesting one for you, Bobby. Thoughts on Wicks? He's like $200 on DraftKings, and sometimes a $200 player, like, so I think we've kind of seen, if you spend $200 on a guy, even if he gets you like a 0, you still have a chance to do some damage, because you're saving so much. So what do you think about a $200 guy? It's Wicks. He could definitely get you a 0, or he could get you a few points. He's a big guy. Maybe he gets you a touchdown. You have any interest in Wicks for like stone cold minimum?
I have Wicks, but at like 7%, which is probably the lowest I have for these cheap receivers or cheap pieces on the slate.
All right. Fair enough. Let's go. I Love Weed says if he wins Powerball tonight, he's hiring us. Okay. I'm down with that. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out the contracts later. Yeah, it's Devontae Adams. Who cares who's covering him? I'm kind of in the boat with Nim Fufu right there. I don't really care who's covering him. So what's the BVP play of the night? BVP and baseball play of the night. Man, I didn't look today. And these are good pictures, man. I don't know how much I want to put my BVP in there tonight, but we'll see. Who's going to win tonight, the Dodgers or the Diamondbacks, Bobby?
The Dodgers.
Yeah, they got to, right? They can't go down 2-0, man. We'll see how it plays out, though. Patrick Taylor, captain, and I'll get all the studs in there. That's a question for you. Would you play your boy Patrick Taylor in captain and then load up the rest of your lineup with a bunch of studs? Or
so I wouldn't do that, because then you're not going to be unique, right? Because if you run any optimizer, they're going to give you Patrick Taylor and all the studs. So I'd kind of build that a certain way to be unique, right? But yeah, I don't mind Taylor captain.
Yeah. Question on DraftKings GPP. Alan S. wants to know, Jaden Reed or the tight end Musgrave? Which one would you pick tonight as a Jordan Love?
I like Musgrave.
Okay. You think it's a tight end night?
Yeah.
All right. Just do you have any thoughts on Reed at all? Any thoughts on Jaden Reed at all? With Christian Watson back, he feels like he falls down to like third or fourth option, right?
I don't like where he's priced, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest issue for me.
Tight end Michael Mayer. What would you do? You like Musgrave? What do you think about the other rookie tight end on the other side over there, Michael Mayer?
I'm getting over on Mayer and Hooper.
Oh, Hooper too. Oh, that's a big tight end game for you. You liking it? All right. Are the Braves really getting no hit? Kirkwood says they're getting no hit. Man, what a fraudulent team. Go out there and set all those records against those bad pitchers all year, and then get in the big games and you do this, man. This is atrocious. All right. I'm looking for some more questions, guys. If you have any, fire them up. We got about 3 minutes left until this thing locks up. How's those lineups look, Bobby? You need any chance? You need any time to fix your lineups, man? You need to run the Sims? I
need a little time, yeah.
All right. I'll tell you what, Bobby.
The Sims currently. Yeah.
We're going to get you. I don't see any more questions, and we got only about 3 minutes left, so I think we can get out of here by now. So you go ahead and fix your lineup, Bobby. We're gonna jump it out here. Guys, we appreciate you tuning in. We're going to get out of here and go enjoy the rest of this baseball game and then crank up some Monday Night Football with Green Bay, Las Vegas. We appreciate you asking all the questions. Come back on Thursday. We're going to run it back and do it again. For Bobby Gomes, I was your host, Chopper. We'll be back on Thursday. For now, we're out of here.